and welcome to episode 31 of the Fish Tank, and I'm recording this from by a fish pond, sort of fairly nearest to where I live. There's a couple of birds, or ducks sorry, over there, and a few fish, and some lads fishing. Not sure if they've caught anything yet. Can hear the bird quacking there. It's a lovely atmosphere and all that. And a few people commented after last week's episode. There was suggestions about fish tank style ringtones, which may or may not be done. And one comment saying they were very disappointed that I hadn't disappeared from the fish tank and regenerated like we did at the end of last week's episode. You are right, I've not regenerated, I'm still here, although the stress from this has caused immense hair loss for myself. That's all I'll say. So it's time for Apology of the Week. And this week I must apologise to the Royal Mail after on last week's show I criticised them for various reasons involving the style of first and second class posts and stuff like that. So I am sorry, I've got to apologise basically just in case there's someone from the Royal Mail who knows where I live. Which I'll be honest, I've not actually seen any evidence of it, because all my mail seems to get sent to about 3 houses down the road. And it has to get delivered by someone else, which is a bit not on, shall we say. So I'm going to criticise you again, so I might end up apologising to you next week. I think they're on a bit of a pay strike as well, actually, the Royal Mail. Because apparently they're on a pay strike and it probably won't get resolved. Because the problem is that people keep saying, oh yeah, we'll pay you, but the cheque's in the post. But there's no postman to deliver it, so it's not going to get resolved, that's all. So as well as that, there's various other things that's been happening this week. I went swimming the other day and enjoyed a bit of diving. I was going off the diving board like Cristiano Ronaldo. Absolutely loved it. And while I'm talking about football as well, I may as well mention Steve McLaren, who his job is very insecure at the moment, shall we say, after he lost another friendly match against Germany the other day. And as a result, there are questions that he might get replaced by someone else. And looking down the Premiership table, I can't help noticed, second in the Premiership, Manchester City, managed by a man called Sven-Göran Eriksson. Perhaps you'll get him to manage England instead. You never know. And what else has been happening this week? Well, there's been a story of the week that I saw about a psychic cat who can sort of tell when people are going to die. And it is in a care home apparently, and the last 23 people I think who he's gone and sat next to have been the next person to die. Although it would be a sound that the last 10 people after they've sort of seen the first 13 go just died from heart attacks having the cat stand next to them. And apparently crime as well has been a big issue this week, with knife crime being particularly popular, which is really annoying actually, because I don't want people to steal me knives or anything, because they're very useful. They can both cut and then spread, which is very useful for a tool. Because you never see spoon crime or fork crime, do you? Only knife crime. But if someone ever mugged me, I've got a foolproof way of getting out of it. Basically, if someone comes up to me, I just say, look mate, I fought against tougher people than you when I was in prison. And that scares them off quite sharp. So the thing is, how do you fight back? It's a bit of a double-edged sword. That's why I used to fight back, a double-edged sword. Gets rid of criminals quite fast. So now we move on to the Celebometer, and after appealing for Jamie Cook over the last couple of weeks, I'm going to put out an appeal to Tim Hedman, the former British tennis player who's got nothing to do now as he retired from tennis the other day. Or he's retiring from tennis sort of after a Davis Cup match, I think. So apparently the decision was mainly due to his family, because his 78-year-old grandma kept beating him. So he decided to pack in tennis altogether. It's hard to support someone like Tim Hedman, because I can't help think I would beat him myself. So there you go. Right, well it's time for the regular bits of the show, the headline and quotation. So the headline of the week this week, it comes from an American newspaper, and it says, county to pay $250,000 to advertise lack of funds. Can't help think that you would have a lot of funds if you weren't paying $250,000 to advertise the fact that you didn't have any. So slightly flawed logic there. And time for a quote of the week as well, which comes from a Newcastle United fan who says, football today is like a game of chess. It's all about money. Since when has chess been about money? I mean, I've seen these sort of American films where they're sort of sat in the back of a pub late at night playing, poker or these card games. I've never actually seen them play chess though. I don't think chess is all about money. So that's all from this week's show. And I always like to keep things thought-provoking on the fish tank. So remember, if God created the world and then created light, he created the world in the dark. But if we evolved from monkeys and apes, why are there still monkeys and apes? So think about how the world was created and feel free to leave a comment. So there you go, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.